Lake Erie just fucks this area.
It's bipolar.
Yeah. But
Lake Erie's bipolar, just like everyone around here.
Yeah. Not wrong, man. But you know what, though? Lake Erie is weird because growing up with it right there, and then dealing with people from around the country, I'd never realized how much we took having a giant body of water for granted.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, oh, yeah, I've never been to a beach. And I'm like, a beach? Or you mean like the ocean? And they're like, no, I've never seen a beach. And I'm like,
do you know how many times I've told people I live by Lake Erie, one of the Great Lakes, and then like continue the conversation, something else happens, and then I bring up the lake again, and they're like, what lake? I'm like, Lake Erie. I literally just fucking said it 2 seconds ago. What other lake would I care about? They're like,
Chautauqua?
They're like, Lake Erie? I'm like, do you know the Great Lakes homes here in Ontario, Michigan, Erie, and Superior? They're like, oh, yeah, I guess. I'm like, like the Northeast.
See,
like,
we say the Northeast, but it
mind.
runs from, the Midwest over too. I mean, because Illinois and all that stuff.
Do you know we technically live in the geographic Midwest?
It's weird, so...
The beginning of the Midwest starts west of Buffalo, New York.
And it's
follows to just east of Kansas City. I'm like, holy fuck, I live in the Midwest.
Yeah, so it's... I can't remember who it was. I think it was like the You Betcha guys or something like this. That they have this segment on their podcast where it's like, "Are you part of the Midwest?" And somebody brought up Buffalo, and they're like, "Well, state your case," and explained we got tons of woods, small cities, lots of drinking, terrible weather, and broke down what it's like. And the guy's like, "Yeah," and then they're talking more. And the guy's like, and I'm listening to you right now, and you sound like you're a cross between Boston and Chicago. And I'm like, God damn it, we are.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, Buffalo's part of the Midwest. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Also, geographically, along Lake Erie, that coast. So then that turns into the Ohio Farm Valley. So
all the shit past Cleveland.
Yeah, even along Cleveland and then south and down towards Columbus.
Yeah.
We're part of that valley, my dad was telling me. It's because, we're part of this and all that. I'm like, holy fuck, we are.
Yeah, we're
we're the Midwest.
Yeah, we're not New York. We're in the state of New York, but how many times when you said you were from New York when you were in the service, they were like, oh, New York City, that must be great. And you're like, yeah, no. It takes 8 hours to get there.
Yeah.
I'm almost as far away from New York City as you can possibly get in the state.
Yeah, no, we literally are.
Yeah.
Ripley is the farthest point from New York City, still in New York State.
Yeah, and that was, 30 minutes south of Fredonia, if that? Not even.
State line's 20 miles.
Oh, shit, yeah. So, yeah. I forget Ripley's that close.
Yeah.
It just always seemed farther as a kid, but I guess it's because I never drove or went over that way.
My parents were from Erie, so I went to Erie constantly.
Yeah.
I know Erie way better than I know Buffalo. Still to this day, it's scary.